Hey everybody, we're live. We've got Dex's bull panel. It's very exciting. Things are going crazy in the world. You can feel it in the air. Everybody's feeling it. I'm finding that it's hard to find normies anymore. To be frank, you know, I'm finding that the more I talk to people, the more ready they are to accept that like aliens are ready to invade. Like they're ready to hear anything. They just want to try to make sense of what's going on in the world. So we're going to look at that tonight. We've got our main dude, Dexiago Capitalist. We've got Crimerica. We've got HK Trader. Will is with us. And we're starting off. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. And of course, I can't have a feast like this without my 4 cheese on the side. So 4 cheese is here. Kicking Gravel's here. Hey, awesome. You're calling me a normie? Oh my God. I thank you for correcting your wow, that hurts. Thanks for correcting your grammar. I appreciate it. But looking at Bitcoin Dex, this is exactly what we had. Actually, we're going to start with Will. This is exactly what we discussed as a possibility just over, I think it was last week, maybe the week before. We took off last week as the holiday, but week before about Bitcoin struggling once it got up into the 50s, and we see that it did max out 52 something up here. So, Will, any thoughts on Bitcoin? This is the daily chart, USD right here. This is the Coinbase. Oh, no, I muted you. Hold on. There you go, buddy. Sorry.
It hasn't changed a bit. We're still in a sideways mode. So I guess, I mean, you can still buy in, but it's really for short term or day trading. But as far as holding the core position, I'm not adding anything yet until I see a big smash down.
All right, cool. Okay, Korea America, thoughts on Bitcoin?
Both the daily and the weekly chart are price action still trading above the Kumo cloud, so we have the support below us.
Nice.
But like Will said, yeah, it looks like it's trading a nice tight range right now, but we still have big bearish pointers on both the daily and the weekly chart.
Indeed. Dex, my main dude, how are you tonight?
Doing well, my man. Been in the lab all day.
Yeah, of course.
I think you guys said it best. Pointers have to be reconciled. Pointers are like gaps. Has to be reconciled at some point. So even if Bitcoin were to go to 100,000 tonight, at some point it's going to have to come down and deal with that bearish pointer.
That's terrifying, Dex. Wait, which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the one over here at, or are you going further back? Are you looking on the weekly or the daily?
I'm talking about on the first on the weekly, then on the daily. Okay. The weekly is always going to be the most prominent, and then followed by your daily.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. All right, guys, what's on your mind for tonight? Will, I think you had some things that you were looking at for this week you wanted to discuss.
Can you pull up the chart on Theta?
Yes.
This is something that we covered, last couple of times.
There we go.
All right.
This is the weekly. I'll pull up the daily.
If you look at the weekly, and you can see that it's not really following Bitcoin's patterns. There's a very good chance we could test maybe 3 handles sometime pretty soon. Because the other altcoins are moving up actually, but Theta has been really disappointing since at 9. So unless they can correct this, the bullish pattern, the bearish patterns, I don't see it go back to 10 this year very time soon, unless there's a dramatic announcement.
You're seeing a little bit of a bearish sentiment in the just looking at Twitter. Some people going, "I'm waiting." Where I think it's so funny when people react against a coin like it's a person, like they're waiting for it.
Exactly. I totally agree with it. I mean, the thing is, the other altcoins are moving. Like Solana, FTX, right? So the money's out there. So that means the big monies are not going there. So it might take some time. So consolidating. For those hardcore stud, they have to wait. That's all I can say.
Yeah, one that I wanted to mention, I talked about it before we started, with Cramerica is Cosmos. The symbol is Atom. It has been taking off this week. I mean, look at this. This is the weekly. Look at these weekly bars. And this is something that I've been pretty heavy on for a while. So this was pretty cool for me. It was one of those things where it rebalances your portfolio, even if everything else is going down, you're good, so it's interesting things happening in a lot of cryptos. Cramerica, you were mentioning you wanted to discuss some supply chain issues that you're starting to see actually crop up. This is something that people have been predicting for a while, and today we just might be starting to see some very strong signs of it. So.
Well, let me add something to what Will just said about Theta as well. Theta, it went from 15 cents to $15 in a relatively short amount of time. So it's going to have to consolidate for a while before we see any kind of big movement out of that. But onto the supply chain issues. We've all seen the reports of things like aluminum and uranium just going ballistic with their price action. That's from supply chain issues, and as well as you have Sprott buying a bunch of physical uranium. Things like with aluminum, they have the London Metal Exchange as well as the Shanghai Exchange have been their stockpiles have basically been decimated, and it's not just those. It's pretty much everything. You see it with food, especially with beef. I don't remember the exact percentage that things like beef and pork and chicken have gone up, but I remember hearing who was it? Somebody in the administration that the other day was talking about if you take out beef, pork, and chicken from the inflation statistics, we're dealing with just regular historical inflation. And so basically the supply chain is having lots of trouble, and I'm sure everybody already knows about this. I just wanted to, maybe talk about it a little bit more, see what Dex has to say about this issue, as well as I was talking to Frank before we got on, and I was scrolling through Cliff High's Twitter feed because it's one of the ones I like to check out. Well, he retweeted Glenn Beck. And Glenn Beck wrote on his tweet, it says, while America is distracted, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta revised its GDP forecast downward by 41%. And that number, it sounds huge to me. I don't know exactly what it means. I'd like to get Dex to talk about that a little bit, if he doesn't mind.
Of course I don't mind. Excuse me. Excuse me. Got a little frog in my throat there. All right. Well, yes. Janet Yellen, okay, the U.S. Treasury Secretary did warn, excuse me, of a global debt crisis, okay? She said that the U.S. debt was set to reach a breaking point next month, all right? And again, this is according to the U.S. Treasury Secretary. She urged Congress to act quickly to raise the debt ceiling, saying that in the meantime, uncertainty may hurt the global economy, not just the U.S. economy. Now, according to Politico, the U.S. Treasury Secretary warned congressional leaders yesterday that she expects the U.S. debt to peak next month, which will deal a potential blow to the global economy without the possibility of quick action. Again, if this happens, there will be no quick fix. She's saying that the Fed is out of bullets.
Wow.
If this happens, and we're talking in October. Now, addressing a letter to bipartisan lawmakers in Congress, Janet Yellen divulged that recent calculations from the Biden administration indicate that the U.S. will run out of cash during the month of October.
Wow.
Quote, we have learned from past debt limit impasses that waiting until the last minute to suspend or increase the debt limit can cause serious harm to business and consumer confidence, raise short-term borrowing costs for taxpayers, and negatively impact the credit rating of the United States. And she cautioned that a delay is likely to create, and I quote, irreversible harm to the U.S. economy, alluding to the 2011 debt limit crisis, which downgraded the country's credit rating for the first time in U.S. history. That's a lot to unpack in that little quotation.
Insane.
She's basically saying that the U.S. is doomed, the U.S. is screwed.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, this segues into the next issue, ladies and gentlemen. Now, she said that, all right, this information that they're talking about today actually came out on September the 10th. Okay. What I just finished saying to you about what they're saying, what's going on with the debt and all that, that was on September the 10th. That statement was made, but it's starting to trend today for some reason. So, with that being said, what do you think happened today to signal what happened on Friday? Anybody? I'll show you. Frank, can you pull up Litecoin, please?
Yeah.
All right. So today we had a flash crash in Litecoin.
Oh, wow. Look at this guy.
All right. Now, this was because on Bloomberg, and I saw it and heard it with my own ears, seen it with my own eyes. All right. All the major news wires, all the mainstream media reported this, what I'm about to tell you. The report came out, breaking news. Walmart says crypto payments announcement is fake. This on the back of breaking news. Walmart to now accept Litecoin for payment. When that came out, Litecoin had a flash crash upward. And then almost immediately, Walmart came out and said, no, that is not true. That is fake news. That is not happening. Now, here's the problem. All right. Litecoin gave up a 20% gain and immediately tumbled back down after this fake press release that was sent out by Globe Newswire that referenced a partnership between Litecoin and Walmart. So immediately, Walmart spokesman Randy Hargrove confirmed the press release is not authentic. He also said the retailer had been in touch with the Newswire company, which is owned by telecommunications company Intrado, to investigate how the false press release got posted. Now, a number of media organizations, including CNBC and Bloomberg, sent headlines on the announcement. All right, this was live in real time. Now, shares of Walmart, of course, had little movement on that news. Okay. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission, they didn't immediately respond when they were requested for a comment on whether they would be investigating what led to the issuance of this fake release. Now, here's what you need to know. You know, I always keep it real with you guys. I tell you what's going on. That whole news event is not what you think it is. Remember, I have taught you since I have been on YouTube that the markets are not just people buying and selling. The market is a communications device. It is a tool of the shadow government, a tool of the elite. They send signals to each other, all right, through the markets, through price. That's why everything that can be known and is factored already into the price, all right? So this is what you need to know. Today was a signal, a test even, because behind all the chaos that's been going on in the world, supply chain issues, mask, don't mask, booster shot, vaccine, all this stuff to keep you distracted. They've been building up their own blockchain infrastructure. All right. That's the truth behind the news. This was a test piece to gauge the people's views, to see how people would react.
I like
They were
that.
sending signal to each other. A major event is about to go down. A turning point, an algo shift in the markets. And that's what the signal meant.
I like this one, Dex.
Now, because it crashed up and created a pointer, bullish pointer, if you will, what they're telling you, are you ready for this? They're preparing for the end of the stock market rally and the beginning of the crypto rally. The fact that the market topped out and immediately crashed was a signal to get ready. Get ready. Now, you can say whatever you want to say as far as what news event they're going to use to say why the markets are falling. But you and I both know Janet Yellen just told you what time it is. She told you that October is the deadline. So we could very well have a Rocktober this year. Now, before this news came out, the market was actually on pace to have no correction this winter or fall. The market has been on pace to rally until the end of the year with no significant corrections. But after this news that Janet put out, and then the confirmation today in Litecoin says, okay, we got the memo, everything's ready, we're going to do a test, we're going to show you that everything's ready, and it was. Now, how do you know that this was not, a glitch in the matrix? Because a news piece came out that made the Litecoin move. You cannot move a market without a lot of money behind it. And to move a market instantaneously is a flood of large money moving in one direction against all other orders. Only large institutional type entities can move a market like that.
Wow.
Now, you guys may know offhand, I don't. What's the market cap of Litecoin right now?
I could do this.
Okay.
I'm wicked smart.
Yeah, what's the market cap of Litecoin right now?
I'm just pulling it up for you guys. 15 billion.
All right. So you got a 15 billion market cap market.
Oh, I'm sorry, 12 million. 12 billion.
12 billion still.
Yeah, big.
That's a big market. Little retail traders can't move that market like that. Not without a lot of money. And Litecoin is trading at how much right now?
180.
$180. So that's an equivalent of $180 a share of a stock. That's a stock trading at $180 a share. That's not a cheap stock. That's a dense stock. All right. It takes a lot of money to move that around.
Yeah.
Now, here's the proof that I've told you. I've given you what the facts are, but now I'm going to give you the proof. People always say, oh, you just talking. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing, right? That's what they say. Oh, these guys always coming up with these theories. No, I'm always here to give you what time it is. Remember, I've taught you the history of market communications. I've taught you the history. Remember, I told you what they did on 9/11. How do you think the market had such a sharp V-shaped recovery the week after 9/11? Because they employed all of their tools. They were running commercials telling you how unpatriotic you are if you short the market. They even put stocks on the restricted list. They did whatever they had to do. All right? To make sure that they're playing as planned. Now, I'm about to show you something. In the words of the famous prophet, probably the best prophet of our time, Fire Marshal Bill, let me show you something. I'm going to share my chart with you real quick, share my screen with you. I'm going to show you a little something, and then we're going to keep it pushing. You ready?
Yep.
All right, what you're about to see here is more proof of the rigging. All right, ladies and gentlemen, can you see this bar right here?
Yeah.
What is that? That looks like a flash crash happened today, don't it?
Yeah.
You see that? This is today's bar right here. All right.
A stop run.
Flash crash in the euro. It's an inverse chart of Litecoin.
Huh.
Stop run.
Remember the Litecoins bar? It's the inverse of this. I rest my case. Now, the forex market is $1 trillion a day market. All right. Bill Gates couldn't move the euro. If he took all his wealth and put it in one buy order, he would not be able to move the euro like that. All right. This happened the same time that the Litecoin news came out. While the Litecoin was being pushed up, this was being pushed down. When the Litecoin recovered, so did the euro. Yeah, think about what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen. What is the euro, though? It's the inverse of the US dollar, ladies and gentlemen. It is the opposite of the US dollar. They're telling you what's about to happen. That's what you saw today. It's not what people think it is. All right? It is what it is. This happened, and this wasn't the only chart, but this was the best one example I wanted to show you. Something's going on in the background, people. A lot of money was moved around today, and you have to ask yourself a question. Why is that? What do they know that you don't know?
Tell us, Dex. What is it?
They're preparing to squeeze the American people like never before. They're about to squeeze everybody until it's so painful that you will have no choice but to take what they give you. Right now, people are already believing everything about the whole medical situation going on. They're taking that, drinking that Kool-Aid all the way down. They're not allowing debate or dissent on the subject. Doesn't matter if you are the world premier immunologist or epidemiologist. Doesn't matter. You have no voice except your marching orders of the talking points and the narrative that the shadow government is pushing. This right here is confirmation that they're getting ready to do something. This is a bearish pointer on the euro. If the euro is about to go down, that means the dollar is about to go up. If the dollar is going up, commodities are going down. All right. I want y'all to just think about what I just said to you. I'll cover more, Lord willing, tomorrow if I'm able to do a morning news analysis. I'll do that for you guys. But as of right now, that's all I got for you. I just wanted to show you, connect the dots for you.
Very interesting.
Yeah, today was not what you thought it was.
Insane.
That was not an accident. All right, you don't just make it onto the Bloomberg terminal or CNBC. All right, that is, as far as I'm concerned, Bloomberg, CNBC. That might as well be the CIA, FBI, White House, State Department news channel.
Absolutely. I feel the same. They're just telling. It's like, what do they want me to think is what the government wants me to think. 100%. And
if you think that that Bloomberg and CNBC don't know what they're talking about, they are 100% backed by the government, the shadow government that is. And I told you, they actually do tell the truth sometimes because they have to let you know and put it out there so they can say, "See, we told you what was going to happen. It's not our fault. You didn't believe us."
Seems to be
you weren't paying attention
too. They like to tell you ahead of time. They're weird like that.
Yeah, that's what they do. They're announcing it. So be forewarned, people. You need the pulse waves today more than you've ever needed it before. That's all I can say. Because had you been a member when Litecoin rallied today, you would have already been long in the market before today. Before today's weekly got triggered doing that flash crash, you would have already been long anyway. If you waited to today to get triggered into that market, you're not paying attention. That means you don't have the pulse waves. Because if you had the pulse waves had you long in that market a while back, and you'd have been just moving your stops. And if anything, you probably would have been stopped out today with profit. You dig what I'm saying? That's why you got to have the PulseWave, so you know what to do and when to do it and how to do it. You don't wait for a day like today and get triggered and be like, oh no. That's why when you get these buy and sell signals that how I do in the end of day reports, I say, okay, we have a rally alert, buy signal, or we have a crash alert, sell signal. I say that for a reason. It means that this is if you're looking to operate in a particular market, today is that day. Don't wait until after it's already done and then you're trying to chase the market, because then you'll get caught up in fake news events like today. You dig what I'm saying?
For real, yeah.
I hope so.
Okay, with that, we gotta jet. We're done, but we're gonna be back this week. We've got some stuff planned. We'll be sending out tweets and newsletters and all kinds of stuff. But especially if you really want to keep up with what we're doing, get your membership at PulseWaveTrading.com. We have free memberships. The premium are better though. They have more stuff. They're awesome. But any membership at PulseWaveTrading.com is worth your time, worth your while, and you'll get updates and access as we are heading into our Discord and doing some really cool stuff later on this week. All right, thanks everybody for participating. You guys were great as usual. This is a great discussion, and we really have to do another sit down this week in the Discord where it's fully uncensored and we can all be as crazy as we want and say whatever we want.
Exactly.
So people love those. I love those. So we'll have to do another one of those. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you very soon. Take care.
Peace.